Hey, hello everyone, Sean Simons here, aka PPG Grandpa. Find me at ppggrandpa.com. You know, as a newbie, I really wanted to know how in the world you do a pre-flight on a motor. What kind of tools do you need to bring with you, and what kind of oil is good? How do you fix the prop if there's a little bit of nicks and dents there? You know, and what kind of torque specifications do you need to torque your bolts to when you are doing a pre-flight? Well, today we're going to go over all of that really quick, and hopefully this helps you guys out. A pre-flight. This is what I do for my pre-flight. I take out the spark plug, check it out. I make sure that nothing is leaking. I go around and I make sure that this is tight. This is tight where the throttle meets the carburetor, and I go around using a torque wrench to make sure that my bolts are nice and torqued correctly. Believe it or not, after flying just a couple of flights, one of these, actually two of these, were loose. So thank goodness. A torque wrench, Harbor Freight, not that much, 10, 15 bucks, invaluable. So after checking all of that, and what I will do is I will turn the prop slowly to make sure that there is compression. I feel compression. As I'm turning it here, of course the spark plug is not connected. As I'm turning here, I'm checking to see if my belt is frayed at all, and it's not, which is good. I'm also gonna go over here and make sure that all my bolts that are connecting my motor to my frame and my exhaust are good, that I have everything tied up, no springs are broken. I kind of fixed this, had a little mess up, so I put a piece of ENT there, and I wrapped it all up nice and tight and zip tied it so it's solid as a rock. I'm just gonna go through and make sure that all my zip ties and all of my Velcro is connected and good, and the gas cap is on. You wouldn't believe how many people I've heard forgetting the gas cap is off. I always just make sure that it's tight. Then I go over here to my harness. My harness is a little bit different than most because this is a quick release. So I just have to connect this, make sure the Velcro's there, but it disconnects like that. So I just have one piece. The one thing that I do check is to make sure that this is not twisted as I put this together. Also too, just make sure that everything is secure. The carabiners are there. Nothing is frayed or anything like that. I do have my tack right here, and I'm going to eventually put it around my throttle. Another thing I need to look at is my throttle, and this is really important, is to make sure that when you pull the trigger, that your carburetor back there goes all the way forward and back. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry, but you know what I'm talking about. If there are any dings in my prop, which sometimes there are, what I do is I use super glue and baking soda. Matter of fact, that fixed a nice little nick that was there, and you can't even tell if you use your thumb. So what I do is I have a little bag and I have super glue and baking soda, and I also have a little spongy sandpaper, and that's really good because it's spongy. It curves a little bit better when I fix these little pieces on my prop. Now that all of that is inspected, the last thing I do before I will start is, of course, push that on. If it's been sitting for a while, there's a little thing right here. You push this in. As you push that in, you do your primer. What that will do is it'll push a lot of fuel into your carburetor, and that gets rid of the air in your fuel lines. Here's a tip and trick that I have learned. Well, actually two of them. When you use oil in your two-stroke, get something that is racing, 100% synthetic, high RPMs, and don't mix oil with another type of oil. Sometimes the oils will combine and gel up, and it'll mess up your entire thing. You got to take it apart and clean it. It's a mess. Another thing that I learned is Seafoam. 1 ounce per 1 gallon in your tank seems to keep carbon from building up and keeps things running smooth. This has been a lifesaver. These boots are so incredibly light. Nothing that can catch the lines, which is really good. They're extremely light, and they've really helped me from spraining my ankles. When I do my personal checklist, my boots are tied, double knotted. I had to add my boots double knotted because I went out and I kited. I was running down the hill and I tripped over my boot strings. I'm like, what? If I had a motor on my back, that would have sucked. So that's been put on my list now. I keep a parts bag with spare parts, a just in case thing, which is really important to me, including, everything. I mean, I got motor mounts and seals. And of course, I keep a downloaded version, an exploded version of my motor, and of course, my torque specifications. As far as what I bring to the field, I found that everything I used to work on my paramotor, I just put in here and it seems to be fine. Just general tools, that torque wrench. I even have a rivet gun because, I mean, look, your paramotor is basically all rivets and it just makes sense. Different types of zip ties, the mixer. This is really good. These are Velcro straps. I've used the heck out of those already. Spare spark plug, spare bolts for the motor, big old thing of duct tape. Oh yeah, here we go. Shrink wrap for messing around with your electrical system. You might need to wire all together and shrink wrap. More shrink wrap here. Electrical tape. More Velcro straps. And I don't know why I have this in here, but I assume one time or another I'm going to have to check my motor to see what kind of heat that has. I keep the small oil in here, which is really nice. I have a dolly that I can put my paramotor on, or the creeper that I have, and it makes it moving the paramotor around the garage quite easy. And I can push it up against that. And then this goes underneath the seat. So everything's out of the way. I can pull the car in, and you just can't beat that. Well, I hope that's helped out some newbies. If you already fly, leave some comments down below and let me know what you do as far as looking at your motor and doing pre-flights. Anyway, I'm also working on a game for Paratalk. It's going to have different categories, and it's going to be a lot of new stuff that newbies should know. I got a definition section, all about air, all about wings, all about motors, and terminology, people, and we're going to try to get people on Zoom, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live with the chat. We're going to have prizes. Of course, I had to put this all in here so I could remember talking about it. And we're going to have that up very soon. If you have any terminology or questions and answers that would be good on this game, which we're going to try to pack up and actually make a game that you can download and print off, leave me some comments down below and put, questions and answers that we as newbies should know, and if we don't know, we really need to memorize them. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Sorry this took so long. I think next time we're going to be talking about helmets and comms and communication while being up in the air. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon. I gotta go to work. See ya.